We've made it all the way down now to Module 16, and this is the module where I'd like to talk to you about linking files. One of the things that I told you way back when we started writing formulas was that you had the ability to write formulas and put the answers on the same sheet as the data, on separate sheets, or in separate files. And that's where we are now. We're going to talk about creating your formulas between files here in section 1. Let's flip over to Excel and we'll get started. I want to go ahead and open several files to work with. I'm going to click on the File tab and go down to Open. I'll browse, and the 4 files that I'd like to open are Jane, Hanover, Maunder, and Summary. Notice I just clicked to the left of these and I'm going to click Open. That way they all open at the same time and I don't have to do those one at a time. Jane, Hanover, and Maunder are salespeople for this company, and I want to show you how their files are actually set up. If you look at each one of these, you'll notice that they are tracking each of the item codes, the price of that item, the quantity that they sold. You'll have the sales here and the commission. The sales is a formula that takes the item price times the quantity to give you the sales. Now this is the Jane file. If I want to flip to another file, I just go up to the View tab, go over to the Switch Windows option, and I can flip to Maunder. This file is set up the exact same way. It's just there is a different quantity in this particular column. And then of course the other one is set up the exact same way. Now let me show you the summary file, because that is the one where we're going to add all of our total sales from each salesperson and have the answer appear here. And then we'll add up the total commissions and have the answer appear here. Here's what we're going to do. Remember, when you're writing a formula, you want to click where you want the answer to be. We want the answer here in the summary file in A5 to start with. We're going to add up the total sales. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with the equal sign, and we can't have a range, so we're going to have to do these individually. And it doesn't matter in which order you do these. I'm going to click on the View tab and I'm going to switch windows, and I'll start with Maunder. The sales happen to be in cell D15, so I'm going to click there. You'll notice that it put the name of the file here, then the name of the sheet, and then the name of the cell, and notice it's an absolute value. Now because I have another file to add, I'm going to hit the plus sign, and now I'm going to flip over to Jane. I'll click in D15, and notice now that file is there with the sheet and the cell as well. I'm going to hit plus because I have one more, and I'll switch to the Hanover file and click in D15. And that's all I have to do. I've just gone to these one at a time, clicked in cell D15, and if I have one more to add, I'll hit the plus sign. I'm going to enter right now because I'm done. And now you'll see that I have my total sales of $10,124.60 here. Now let me go ahead and do the same thing for the commissions. I'm going to start with the equal sign. In no particular order, I'm going to start with Maunder, click in E15, plus, I'm going to switch windows again and go to Jane. I'm going to click in E15, plus because I have one more, and I'll go over and pick up Hanover, click in E15, and since I'm done, I'll hit the Enter key. And now you'll see that I have all of my totals there. And you can see for each one of these, if you double click, you've got the sheet, you've got the file name, and notice the file names in the square braces there always. It's always followed by the sheet name, and remember the exclamation point tells it to change from a sheet to a cell, and then you have the absolute value of that particular cell. And that's really all you've done. You've actually now created links between these files. Now all of these files are linked to summary. They're not linked to each other. So here's what this means. Let's say that I close any of these files. I'll go ahead and close this one, and I will save it. I'll go ahead and close Hanover, and I'll save that one. I'll go ahead and close Jane. I'll go ahead and close Maunder. Now let's say that all during the week I'm opening each one of these files and changing their sales. I'm going to go ahead and open Hanover, and I'm going to change Hanover's quantity for item code 1 to 10. Obviously that changes his sales and his commissions. I'm going to save this and I'm going to close it. Now let's try one more. Let's go back and I'm going to open this time. Let's open Monder, and I'll change item code 5 to 13. Obviously again that changes his sales and the commissions. I'll save it and go ahead and close it. Now I've done that all week long, and now I'd like to go ahead and open my summary file to see where I stand. If I go ahead and open it, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up and tell me that my workbook has some links and that they need to be updated. Notice that these numbers have not changed right now. As soon as I say update, and notice I don't have to, but as soon as I say update, now you'll see my total sales and my commissions have changed, and that's how links work. I could close this, make sure I save it, and keep doing the same thing as long as I need to. What I want to do now is, you know how links are created. Let's go ahead and move to section 2. I'm going to show you all about how to work with these different links and different things that you can do. I'll see you over in section 2.